Okay, so the trick to rolling out pizza dough is you have to really let it relax. There's gluten in it and it just makes it really elastic. So if you buy it from the store, you make it yourself. We just buy it from the store. Let it sit for at least 10 or 15 minutes. Let it come to room temperature, let it relax, and then put a little coating of olive oil on it and on your hands. And you just are gonna slowly knead it down. You can use the palm of your hand, or you can use your fist, or you can use a rolling pin. I prefer to just use my hands. And it's gonna take a while. It's not gonna be quick. Just be patient with it. Let it stretch out. And once it starts pulling back, so you see how this is pulling back, it means the gluten isn't relaxed quite enough yet. So you may have to let it sit for a few more minutes. So it's worth the wait. Don't just try to force it. It's gonna be easier in the long run if you just stretch it out and let it go. The trick is you want it somewhat even. Don't worry about trying to get it symmetrical. I mean, you're just gonna roll it up in the pan anyways. But it's gonna take a while. You might have to add a little bit more olive oil, but just stretch it, be patient with it. And once it gets to a point where you don't feel like you're really making much more progress with making your circle wider, just let it rest for a little while and come back to it. And by a little while, I just mean like 5 minutes or so. It shouldn't take that long, but you may have to let it rest 2 or 3 times. Especially just make sure you do that initial 10 to 15 minute relaxing beforehand. And once we get it nice and big, we'll come back to you. Okay, so it took about 2 or 3 more minutes to get it up to this size. So what I'm gonna do now is gently pick it up. Now the skillet has cornmeal and olive oil first and then cornmeal. And I'm just gonna lightly pull this around. Doesn't have to be perfect. You just wanna make sure you get it up on the sides. It's pretty relaxed now, so it's not wanting to stay up very well, but we can kind of push that around.
And why do you have cornmeal in there?
Just so it doesn't stick. The olive oil just helps with that too, and it gives a, it's a nice way to season your skillet. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is add some Sweet Baby Ray's. And you can see this is definitely starting to pull again, but it'll rise when it cooks. So I'm not overly concerned about it. So we're going to put some Sweet Baby Ray's in. All right. There we go. All right, that should be good. You can always grab a spatula, smooth it around a little bit. Okay. Next thing I'm going to put in is some provolone cheese. I'm just going to cover the bottom nicely with it. Okay. Next step, I'm going to add some pork. I'm going to make sure it's nice and distributed. You don't want to put too much pork. If you get too much pork, it's just kind of takes away from the pizza. You want it to add just enough flavor, just enough texture without feeling like you're biting into a sandwich.
And who made this amazing pulled pork?
My husband made this amazing pulled pork.
Okay, I just want to clarify.
It is so fantastic. All right, I want a little bit more at the edge. So I know that looks like a lot, but as long as you break it up so it's even in there, I think it'll be good. All right, the next thing I'm going to add some sauteed onions and peppers. These are just lightly sauteed in olive oil. Should give it some nice flavor, give it some crispiness too. They're just tender enough, but they still have a crunch to them. It should be good. Okay, I'm going to add some pineapple just to sweeten it up. You could add ham too if you wanted to, if you really want to add the more meat factor to it. Let's see, get a few more, so sweeten it up. It'll go nicely with the Sweet Baby Ray's. All right, now I'm going to add some mozzarella to the top. I'm going to be fairly generous with this because this is what's going to give us our nice pizza flavor or a nice pizza feel. Alright. Okay, and last but not least, I'm going to add some basil and a little bit of just like a pizza seasoning. You could put oregano on here, whatever you'd like. Alright, now it's ready for the smoker.
Alright, so this is now that Jen has the pizza ready, I've got this is a 26.75 inch Weber kettle. So this guy's kind of beast, but it's really good for pizzas because you have a lot of room to work with. You typically want to try to shoot for about 325, 350 on these, and so I got about a half chimney load of charcoal going and threw it in here. I'll go ahead and open this up so you can see my setup. We've got a pizza stone in here. It's kind of hard to see, but I've got a couple apple wood chunks down on the bottom, so that's what's really kind of producing all this smoke. It gives a nice flavor to these deep dish pizzas. And the pizza stone is crucial. If you throw this cast iron skillet straight down on the grill grate, if the fire's too hot, if you've got too much charcoal, it's just going to burn. There's going to be too much heat hitting certain areas of the skillet, and it's just going to burn. I've definitely done that before. So what your pizza stone is doing is it's distributing the heat just perfectly all the way throughout that stone. And so you set this on top just like this, and that's it. So now that's just going to cook nice and slow. You don't have all of these really hot areas hitting various areas of your skillet. So I've seen guys that can pull it off without a pizza stone, but I have failed miserably when I've tried it without one. So again, don't go any hotter than like 350. Use a pizza stone, and we're going to cook this for about 20-25 minutes, and then we'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. Alright, here we go. We just pulled this off the kettle. It cooked for about maybe about 25 minutes. I checked it a couple times. Definitely want to be careful when you pull this guy off the grill because the handle of the skillet is just insanely hot. So I normally use, I've got a glove on plus a pot holder. So just be really careful when you pull it off. I've burned myself several times like a moron. But the crust rose really good. It's not burned at all. It's just a perfect kind of golden tint. And it's kind of tricky to get the slices out, but it's deep dish, so it's going to be messy. So Jen's just kind of working on it here. It's got a nice crisp crust to it. The cheese melted perfectly. Look at that. Pick this up. Look at that. Jeez, that's just perfect. So that's it. So didn't take any more than about 20 minutes to prepare, then about 30 minutes to cook. And yeah, we're gonna get into this so that you can see the cheese is just oozing there. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you make your own, and thanks for watching.